What is going on, my beautiful people that clicked onto this video? I got a really, really good video here for you guys. I'm going to cook in this video. We're going to react to some form of Delta Sigma um, ladies. You know, fraternities and different sororities that you can join when you're in college. Now, the whole thing about smart, I don't really consider a lot of these people that go to college smart. You know, you're smart that you can make it in college, and a lot of people do really well, but you're not smart enough to not sell your soul, sacrifice and give up your God-given morals the way your parents raised you. You know, we have to get rid of this whole smart and educated thing. If you don't have common sense, I don't consider you smart. A lot of people keep their heads in the books, right? There's people right now, there's men and women, young men and young women right now who literally work, eat, sleep, and study. Work, eat, sleep, and study. They have no connection with the outside world. Their only connection is through their phones, through what they see on TikTok and social media, if they even have time to do that. But they really don't have any street smarts. Take away the books, take away the education, take away the numbers, the mathematics, and they can't survive in the real world. Take away everything, take away finances, just you're nothing, you're homeless. How are you going to make it? Me, I was homeless. I was living on the streets and I made it. I've been a homeowner for 7 years now. Never thought I would be. Never been to college, never will go to college. I'll give you one example. Jeff Bezos never went to college. He's a multi-million, pretty much a billionaire now, right? Through Amazon. There's plenty of people who are rich who didn't go to college. A lot of those people didn't go to college and still join fraternities, but they're not smart. My whole point is the people that are considered educated and smart and ahead of their class and top this and top that, they sold their souls. They didn't just go to college and say, all right, I'm going to pursue this career so I can make lots of money. They said, oh, let me join a brotherhood. Let me join a fraternity that's going to help me get there faster and quicker. Because that's what a lot of these fraternities and sororities do. You give up your morals. You do these weird chants. You join. And these people have connections, maybe through their parents, through their uncle or grandfathers or something. They have connections to get you to where you want to get faster. It's a cheat code. But you're selling your soul. You're giving up your God-given morals for this cheat code to get ahead. Let's get into it, man. And we're going to react as we go if we need to.
Our soul. So you could be literally out here preaching and teaching and prophesying, but the reality is you are not in right standing with the Lord. We have songs we're allowed to sing publicly, and we have songs that we can only sing behind the scenes. If we were to sing this song that I'm about to sing, you would immediately call us a devil worshiper and an idol worshiper. So this is a song that we sing as a pyramid.
And guys, if people are doing this at fraternities and sororities in college, a lot of people still think this stuff these celebrities do is a lie. Oh, there's no such thing as is the cult worshiping and Freemason. These celebrities, they're not devil worshiping, they're not demonic. This is a lower level. What you're about to hear is a lower level. So just imagine what these celebrities are doing behind closed doors. You heard what these ladies said. There's chances you can sing in public, and there's ones that you have to sing in private. And this is a lower level. So again, imagine what's going on at the top, the elites, the celebrities, the actors, the actresses. Come on now, man. Wake up. Wake up, people. Even rappers, R&B artists, singers, all of them. All of them had to do this stuff. Just even worse.
Okay? It says uncles who were Freemason as well as aunts who were Eastern Stars. But for Divine Nine specifically, I didn't have anyone. But what influenced me was as a little girl, I attended this youth summer camp years ago when I was young, and it was on a college campus at that time. And so what I came to know is the students of that campus, they were part of Greek letter organizations. And so I saw them in their letters, their colors, and I was curious. I wanted to know who were these Black students that's considered a.
And you see what she said, guys? She started off young. Parents. A lot of melanated parents set their kids up for failure. They sell them to the industry young. They sell them into acting and modeling young. They put weave in their hair and don't let them wear their hair naturally when they're young. They continue to cut their men's hair and say, oh, you got to get a haircut. Your hair ain't going like that. They don't let them grow their hair. And God tells you not to cut your crown. Some of the strongest Black men have locks and long hair. Here's your strength. But again, to my point is, man, these parents continue to set their kids up for failure, and it's generational. It's generational with fathers not being fathers and mothers not being mothers, selling off their kids young for money. A lot of people see their kids as tokens so they can get rich, as their get rich quick scheme, their ticket. That's why a lot of parents put their kids in the sport young. Oh, you're gonna play a sport young, you're gonna get at this young because one day you're gonna make me rich, you're gonna make me a lot of money. Or you're gonna join this fraternity young, you because your grandfather was, your uncle was, they were all part of it. Break the curse. That's a curse. Break it. Parents don't want to break the curse, they want to keep it going. Stupid. This is the problem. This is what's wrong with this country. This is what's wrong with this country. This is what's wrong with this world.
Excellence of, they are elite. And so I was curious about that. So I would say that was what started the desire to influence because of that exposure. But then years later, I get into middle school, and my close connections with teachers, my cheerleading coaches, one of my principals at the time, I came to know that all of them were AKAs at that time. And so I remember seeing, their license plates and colors. And I was once again, interested, like, what exactly is this, and this is something that I really want people to understand, because this seed is being planted early and at a young age, and it's also starting in the school system. Is indoctrination, right? And so when I saw that my teachers, my cheer coach, and principal was a part of this, I went to them as a little girl, and I'm like, hey, I noticed this color. What is this? And that little seed, what ends up happening was my principal, she actually gets.
So not only were a lot of these colleges, even probably the one they attended, more than likely built off the backs of slaves slash indigenous people, they continue the slavery going by having these melanated people join these fraternities, and now they have your mind. It was physically when they had them built these colleges, our ancestors. Now they have your mind control. The physical, they can use you until they don't need you no more, and then they kill you. But with your mind, it's like lifelong torture until you break free. But we have a choice now. Back then, we didn't have a choice. We had to do what we had to do, or they would whip us, kill us, beat us, hang us. But now we have a choice, and people still choose to join this stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Gave me a folder that it had all of this AKA information in it, the chants, the history, and I literally held on to that folder up until I got to college, right? So that is what kind of opened up this influence and this desire.
So essentially, you were groomed into it,
Yeah, exactly.
From a child up. What about you, Melissa?
Yes, same thing with Tia. I was groomed into it as a child. I was that baby that was in future Delta onesies. Same thing. My entire family is a part of the Divine Nine. My mom was a Delta She Flashes Spellman. My aunt was a Delta Flashes Spellman. My brother.
And you know what's off-putting to me? Like, these ladies don't have to look mean or angry, but they're smiling while talking about it, as if they're proud. I mean, if your former no longer, you should have some type of like not angry look on your face, but just straight, just stern, like smiling and happy, talking about, oh, my brother, my uncle, it's just weird to me. So just to me.
There's a huge pleasure in Morehouse. My sister-in-law was a Delta Flashes Spellman. My grandfather was a Freemason and a Shriner. All of my
Freemason.
all of my
Talked about Freemason.
That's all I grew up around my entire life, and not to mention extended family that are a part of 8 by 8, aka multiple different parts of the Divine Nine. So you grow up seeing a lot of these wicked practices and things that we're going to talk about. You grow up seeing these things as normalized. And it's a very interesting thing too, because it says that I will follow you with the sins and iniquities up into the third generation. I happen to fall into the third generation. And it's going to be interesting to talk about how a lot of those curses actually started to affect me in my life. I mean, generational curses are very real. My mom pledged as a sophomore. I ended up pledging as a sophomore. These things led me into other things, abortions, many other wicked practices that also happened to my family at the same age, the same year when they were in college.
There are a lot of people who have the same sentiment as you, who have gone through this, but they are afraid to speak up about it. They're not emboldened by the power of Christ and by the liberty that we find in Jesus to, renounce and denounce and come out and talk about it. So hats off to you both for doing so. I want to just open up the platform for you all to just take it away. Share with us tonight the good, the bad, and the ugly. The stage is yours. I want to allow a platform for you to show the world why pledging to a Greek fraternity or sorority, the Divine Nine, you name it, how it's not.
And let me just comment on what he said about showing the world. See, when you show the world, nothing is going to change. You have to understand all these fraternities and sororities are made of the world. God created the heavens and the earth. He did not create the world. This is Satan's world. You guys understand the difference? You ever hear somebody say, "Oh, don't be a worldly person, things of the world, materialistic things, demonic things, selfishness, being a murderer, a liar, a cheater, a steal, that's all stuff of the world. The earth is nature, trees, birds, peace, tranquility. That's stuff of the earth. The water, the oceans, the sun, the stars, the moon. This is stuff of the earth. Animals, you know? But fast sex, giving up your God-given morals, worshiping stars, worshiping Greek gods. That's all stuff for the world. Everything they talk about stuff for the world. So when you say show the world, nothing's going to change because this stuff was created by worldly people, and people of the world, they see nothing wrong with this.
Not compatible with Christianity.
Fear has gripped a lot of people with coming out of these organizations. And I want to start off by saying, if you aren't familiar with my testimony, I was saved radically in the jail cell. And the Lord, he physically encountered me in a jail cell, and he saved my life. And we don't know much about my story. Tia will share about hers, but I was never a believer. As a matter of fact, I grew up in a religious cult that taught me against Christianity. And so when I say I radically was saved, I mean, we're talking about in the jail cell, meet Jesus. The next day, I am in someone's church and I'm opening the Bible for the first time. And this is me when I was in 2016. So even when I pledged, I was an unbeliever, which is insane because the Bible says that I can guilt yourself with unbelievers. I was so much of an unbeliever that I almost didn't even go to the rituals because these things, if you aren't not aware, they're done in a church. All of these things that we're going to discuss,
Wow.
rituals are done at the altar and they desecrate the altar of the church.
Wow, I never would have thought that. That's crazy.
On the altar of the church. And I sent a picture, I'm not sure if you guys have it. And we kneel, we bow, we say these blasphemous things, and we desecrate the church. And so I do want us to, even the first night online, we were in a Freemason temple, in which I'm going to go really fully through it with the haven and all of the things that we went through.
And I'm coming from perspective growing up, the foundation of Christ has always been my foundation. I grew up in the church. I was very active in the church, since a young girl. And so we have this, a generation of people that are growing up that they have set their own standards, for lack of better word, of who they think Jesus Christ is and what they think that he accepts, right? And so we define these things by how we think and how we feel, right? And so for me, I grew up in the church. And so yes, I grew up in this time where I'm thinking I am saved and it's okay. And that is what we're seeing now. We're seeing the church where they are accepting these things, the leaders, the pastors, and they are deeming that this is okay. And so my heart tonight is that when people are listening and watching,
this is why I stay out of the church. I keep God first. I keep God in my mind, heart, spirit, soul. I stay out of the church, man. Because there's a lot of BS going on in the church. Like I reacted talking about not reacted, but I talked about, Drew and his skit with the different pastors, man. That's going on more than you guys think. So I feel like as long as you keep Christ in your heart and you pray, you talk to him, you have a connection with him, you don't need to go to church. I don't care what anybody else says. That's how I feel. And that's why I know I still wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. And have accomplished as much as I accomplished and come far as have I come far in life. And God isn't done with me yet.
Understand that I am like you too. I grew up in the church, active in the church, anointed, called, right? The Bible says that we get, like anointed, all of these things. But the Bible tells us in Romans that the gift comes without repentance. So you can be literally out here preaching and teaching and prophesying, but the reality is you are not in right standing with the Lord. And so God had to literally take me and put me in a position and begin to open up my spiritual eyes of what I was connected to. I believe that especially as Black people, because our culture walks in so much pride when it comes to this particular thing. Right. You can say anything and come against this, right? And so one of the things that the Lord was highlighting to me about family was that as Black people, we were never supposed to be a part of any Greek letter organization. That was not what we were supposed to do.
That's common
but
sense.
The problem is, just like the Israelites, they begin to look around everybody else and say, we want what they have. They wanted a king, but God was their king.
That's right. That's right.
Do not let anybody tell you that, oh, Divine Nine is different from the Freemasons. Absolutely not. They tell you in the candidate syllabus, in the ritual, which says doctrine, which states truth on the side of it, that the founders were influenced, and this traced back. So I'm reading directly from it. Okay. And so you have Minerva is all present, is all throughout the ritual for Delta. I mean, you can't get around Minerva. Okay. Minerva is everywhere in Delta. If you're not familiar with Minerva, it's called Minerva Pallas Athena. Okay. Minerva was known to be a goddess of war and destruction. And mind you, after we cross over, meaning you're reborn into this organization, a lot of Deltas take on the nature of this deity, which is why a lot of Deltas become aggressive. And we the knuck if you buck saints in the club. Amen. We're all of that. We're the aggressive ones. We're the wild ones, because you take on the nature of that deity. It's very similar when you have AKA that has Atlas and Dionysus. That's the goddess of wine and fertility and fun. And so you would see a lot of AKAs, which was beauty and pretty, but they be toe up, they be drunk in club. Okay, so a lot of you see Apollo, which is Papa out the side, Jamal Bryant, Lord have mercy. All of these different pastors are part of Papa out the side. They take on the deity Apollo. And if you aren't familiar with the deity Apollo, which is why they call themselves pretty boys, well, Apollo was very much so known to have sex rituals and all of these demonic things. But Apollo was also an effeminate deity. Apollo was attracted to both men and women.
When she said what she said about Apollo, you can certainly see that on those guys. Yeah, and it's amazing.
I think of Apollo Theater on here.
How so many of these men pledge to these deities. And you just mentioned that the Kappas are following the god Apollo, who had sex rituals with both men and women. Every time I read the scriptures, we see that effeminate people will not enter the kingdom of God, or people who abuse themselves with mankind. Yeah. Sissified men who have taken wood to take some more wood.
Of course, we got ass, guys.
All of the things we go through in these rituals I'm about to name, they work you up to that final selling of your soul. Because basically what we did is that we sold our soul. And that is why we got fame and riches and all of these things when we crossed over, and we became little gods on the campus because sold our souls. I mean, and we're going to share it with you because it's in the language of the actual rituals. And so, yes, we take on a lot of the nature. You know, Minerva is the goddess of wisdom, all these things. You have Athena, who is over destruction, war, but she also dealt with barrenness, lots of those things. Majority of my line sisters, including me, the moment we crossed over, we entered into high level promiscuity, abortions, drunkenness. All of these things became our nature quite afterwards. You know, we took on the nature of a lot of these things. Omega Psi Phi, the deity they serve is the Shekinah light of Omega, which is like Anubis, which is a very similar, it's a female god. That's why every time Omega talks about Omega, they talks about she, her, into the temple.
You notice how these fraternity sororities mock Christ, Omega? Like, God is the Alpha, Omega. These people, these Greek people are sick, man. They really are.
of the gates, swing ye gates, open Omega, and they're serenading. It's like a bunch of strong men that are literally protecting that Jezebel deity, but also
Wow.
Minerva and
Wow.
Athena was Jezebel. This thing that is on the screen is it's a structure called the Athena of Parthenos, and this is literally the erected idol of Minerva that they had in Greece. Okay, so I want you guys to think about the temple of Athena. This was in what's in the right hand. You have the shield, you have the spear, you have all that, but in the right hand is the goddess Nike. Okay, this is actually very important because um, this particular structure is actually worship, and it's talked about when we do we have a song called the pyramid hymn. Okay, and in this song, it's a song because we have songs that we're allowed to sing publicly.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Hold that thought. I have one question. Is that a white lady?
There's a white lady that, this is all Black culture.
Apologize on that, guys. Video's almost over. You see I paused. She says, yeah, it's a white lady. Everything we're about to go through is Greek. So
But this is a part of our culture. We ain't come up with you. None of our great grandparents was doing this. That was all culture Greek.
So pay the $2,000.
Oh, we paid a lot. Sorry.
Join the sorority. Take the wood. Eat the Delta apple. Eat the Alpo, the dog food. And then behind all of this is a white liberal woman, Karen. A Karen. An old milk toast white.
forget all this Karen stuff. Eat the dog food, take the wood. These people getting hit with wooden paddles, eating dog food. I've even heard stories about people passing an egg down the line with their mouth to mouth. Like, that's what I said. This should change the whole rhetoric of being smart and educated. These people are not smart. These people are not educated. Yes, I'm speaking about these black women and anybody else who joined. Shout out to them for changing their ways, but it doesn't matter. It does matter because they came to Christ, but my point is, it doesn't matter about them being smart and educated. They doing dumb, stupid stuff. Like, I would never do this. I have common sense. Even when I was running the streets and I was, being a male whore and I was toting guns, hanging with the wrong crowd, never would I ever join a fraternity. Let somebody spank me with a paddle, talk down to me, spit, yell in my face. Come on, man. Like, there are just certain things I would never do, even when I was on the BS. That's what I'm saying. If this doesn't change your mindset as far as how smart and educated people are, and they're really not, then something's wrong with you. Nothing's going to change you or wake you up. And I don't care if you have somebody in your family that went to college and graduated. If they ever joined a fraternity, was part of a sorority fraternity, they are stupid. Stupid. Capitals. Capital STUPID. Stupid. And we're not going to change what that means. What can we say? Donkey? Jackass? Hopefully you guys can hear me because my mic died on me, but that's what they are.
All of this is on the crest. Okay, if you look up the Delta Sigma Theta crest, you will see Minerva that is at the top of the shield with a helmet on. Same thing. It has the spear, it has the shield, it has all of these things. But let me tell you why this is important. We have songs that we're allowed to sing publicly, and we have songs that we can only sing behind the scenes. This is why a lot of this went unnoticed when these people were joining the churches, because if we were to sing this song that I'm about to sing, you would immediately call us a devil worshiper and an idol worshiper. And they know that. That's why all the little blasphemous songs, you can only sing behind the scenes, okay? So this song is called the Pyramid Hymn, and I'm only going to sing the first stanza because it goes to this structure here. So it says,
and guys, the devil is a scary, lonely, miserable piece of crap. That's why he has to gather so many souls, right? You heard what she said. Some songs you sing behind closed doors. Every song praising God is open to the public, open to the world. Nothing is done behind closed doors. God does not hide his love, his word, his wisdom, his scriptures. God does not hide that. Man is trying to hide it by taking certain scriptures out of certain Bibles, coming up with all these different weird versions, switching things around, changing God's meaning. God meant this, but the man is switching it that, he meant this. Now you're confused. But just in general, the devil, Satan, is dark. God is the light. That's why he hides. He runs and hides. When God comes, when God returns, Satan is going to run and hide. And he's going to hope that the stupid people of the world follow behind him. But when God comes, his light is going to shine so bright. So bright. There will be no darkness. That's why Satan has to run and hide. Because the light is going to outshine him. It's going to outshine him. Satan is full of secrets. Satan runs from the truth. You guys got to understand this crap, man. That's why you have fraternities and sororities that have secrets. Because it's all behind the devil. He is scary because he knows all these Greek goddesses and these different deities. They're all lies. It's all a lie. Anybody who has a secret or keeps a secret from you is more than likely a liar. There's lies beneath that secret. Plain and simple. When you unpack the layers, you're going to unpack a bunch of lies until you get to the truth. Just know the ending, the final destination is the truth. We are trying to strip through the darkness, strip through the lies to find the light and the truth. Do you people not understand this? How many different videos will people have to come up with? How many horses' mouths do you have to hear from till you get it? Christ will return. Get right with God. These people are evil. These celebrities, these rappers, these actors, these actresses, these news outlets, these politicians, they're all evil. Even your boss of the company you work for, evil. Wake up.
Are in the distance. And when you're a pyramid him, that means that you're a pledgee. So you're not quite a delta. Okay. And if you literally end up, let's say the line gets dropped while you're a pyramid, you become an eternal pyramid. Okay. Because you did oaths and rituals to even be a pyramid before you're a delta. So wow. This is crazy that this is. Yes, we had to do rituals to just become a pledgee. This is before we even get to the final initiation. So this is a song that we sing as a pyramid, okay? It says, far in the distance is the goal for which we strive. Laboring ever, may we all arrive. Listen to this. To the golden splendor for which every heart doth yearn. We will pledge our honor, seeking more to learn. The Athena Parthenos was a colossal ivory and gold statue often referred to as the golden splendor, wow. Created for the Parthenon in ancient Athens. So, though we can't go and physically worship this because it's in Greece, we are singing songs of worship to this. And that is, so please don't tell me, oh, we're talking about God. There is no ritual book that you are going to see where Jesus' name is mentioned in any of this.
All right, guys, that's it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Put your comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love.